Alright, that was funny. Gonna wait for people to start trickling back in. Heard that song come back on and I was like, nope. Live streams. Ah, yes, the good old copyright-free SRU music. Alright, let's go ahead and get this started. So campaign, we have 2030, we have China, Russia, and Germany, and the United States. No descriptions on there as of yet. Online feature, I'm pretty sure, is not available. But me and a conglomerate in the chat, me and him are planning something. So sandbox, alright. So we have 2023 World, 2030 Global Crisis, 2030 Shattered World, and 2030 World. So we can start in 2023. Alright, who should we be is the question. Online is available. Oh. Yeah, we have the expert of all Supreme Ruler experts in the chat right now. Why does the Georgian Republic have a $0 GDP per capita? The Georgia Republic officially has $0 that anyone makes. That means that all of them have starved to death, and there is not 3.7 million people in Georgia. Belarus, hell yeah, let's get rid of Lukashenko. $2023 sandbox would look identical to 2030, by the way. What's the difference between 2023 and 2030, though? I'm gonna play Rwanda and just go into conquest. And we'll just be a dirty American and go America. Alright, so here we are. And I'm just gonna make sure that the big ass beta thing is in the chat, is in the corner. And I think what we'll do actually real quick is I'll change this over. Oh wait, it's not covering the important information. Alright, I have no idea how to play Supreme Ruler, so some of y'all might get a little frustrated. You're like, oh my god, why doesn't he know what he's doing? And I've played Supreme Ruler a little bit in the past. I mostly got It was 2020, and then I got 2030 or 20. I think it was 2020, and then it was Ultimates. I think Ultima was the most recent one that they've made, and that one I actually played, and I tried to play it a little bit, and I stopped playing it for the exact reason why I didn't really get into Hearts of Iron, was because I never understood the supply system. I would always try to go to war, and then I would run out of supply, and I didn't know how to get the supply trucks, and I didn't know if you had to like actually get them, like manually get your supply trucks to like follow them or something like that, and it was just a shit show, and I just end up running out of supply and get my ass kicked. Infinity will have 2 different maps. 2023 was just recently added once they decided to make it an option, but it's not that unique yet. The campaigns have cool unique starts at the moment. Remember when you played SRU with me and you were the USSR and invaded Romania? Yeah, exactly. You guys can go back on the Conglomerate's channel and you can watch me hilariously try to invade Romania and just get into... I literally predicted the war in Ukraine because I tried to invade Romania and I couldn't even get past northern Transylvania because I was unable to supply my army. That's the exact thing that Russia is doing right now in Ukraine, is trying to do some funny stuff and then just basically point and clicking. That's exactly what they're doing. Is WWE coming out as early access or full game? I think it's coming out as early access, but I might be wrong, so I think it might be a full game. Bro, chill. Okay. How do we start this off is the question. Oh god, who the hell is that? We're 2023, right? Why do I see Joe Biden as 2030? I need an economic tutorial. I need to learn this game as hilariously... I have a dedicated supply guide now. If it helps, SRU supply mechanics are similar to 2030 supply mechanics, so good luck right now. There's nothing better than PNR. Yeah, detail-wise, I would agree. Everything else, like, I mean, doesn't have to try that hard whenever it comes to bugs, but... So I like this, that you can actually expand this information. I remember actually going over here and you can actually see like your treasury, you can see your income, your expenses, you can see your GDP per capita, overall tax rate, inflation, and unemployment, bond debt. I love in this game how you can manually take out bonds, which, by the way, thank you for reminding me myself. Wrong chat, sorry. Are you watching like multiple live streams at once? My brother. Let's find our secretary, and I'm gonna lock him from taking out bonds. Because you are not going to shoot us in the foot with debt. Why is UI so outdated, though? Yeah, that's what I kind of think, is that they didn't... Like, there's a lot of expanded information in this. But what I kind of don't like is that it looks exactly like 2030. It looks a little bit more... Because they upgraded it to a higher quality. So it's not the same, but it looks the same. It feels the same. However, I'm not one to talk whenever it comes to how the game plays. That is more of a Rizola... conglomerate question. I made an economic guide too. I got you, painstakingly in depth, just like my really painstakingly in depth economic guide for Power and Revolution. I like this. I like how this looks now. Like, it shows you the production and consumption differences. Trade target. What is a trade target? Market exports, market imports. I'm gonna import like a shit ton of uranium. We're gonna import $5 billion of uranium. Now we're gonna do like 2 billion. Mostly because I just want to make sure we have enough stock, because I always go for a bunch of nuclear reactors. I have not tried Galactic Ruler. Yeah, and Conglomerate, you sound exactly how I do whenever it comes to Eversim. You sound exactly the way I do whenever I try to defend them. I'm like, I get I get how you feel, guys, but I understand why they took the decision that they did. Love the depth so far. The bonds look cool. Yeah, and that's actually why I've always liked it, is I like that. I like some of the detail when it comes to the research. I like the I like the how it looks whenever it comes to research, and I like the economic depth. So like if I come over here, I can show you. This is a little simplistic. I kind of don't like this. I ranted most of anyone in the initial playtest about the UI. My rant is why they called me. Yeah, and you made that really shitty thumbnail where it's like they called me. It's like saying like Elmo called me, and then it's just some like idiot on the other end of the line. So right here, this is like your expenses. So like you can come over here and you can say like, oh, okay, or this is your taxes. You have this where you can increase the tax or just the overall tax if it's like a multiple tax, I guess. I love that. I hate that thumbnail so much, man. And then you come over to your expenses. You come over here. You have you have healthcare, education, infrastructure, environment, family subsidy, law enforcement, cultural subsidy, and social assistance. And then you have spending, and then you have quality rating. Quality rating is essentially, I think, it's essentially your investment, but it shows you how much of a quality you're going to have, and then what your next daily investment is going to be. So first things first, I'm going to do exactly what George H.W. Bush is going to do and raise taxes. Oh, you have top threats now. What is this? Neutral. Click to declare war. Auto trading not allowed. See, these are the countries that I have sanctions on. Oh, okay. Double click sliders to center them. Okay. Timothy Fleming. I love that name. I love that name in Florida. Cuba. Espionage, sabotage, cyber attack. And we're going to put him in colon. He's going to do a cyber attack in your colon. Weapons of mass destruction. Chemical weapons. Based. How many spies do I have? Oh, I haven't even played the game. Okay, so I want to go to construction. Ah! Bond issue. How do I go and, like, manually take out my own bonds so I don't... Social spending, expense reports. There's a way that I can that I'm able to go in and manually take out the bonds, but I can't remember how to do it. Cabinet Minister, that big center button. The one with no tooltip? See, this game is still hard as hell to navigate. That's always the issue that I've had with this game, is that navigating it is like the most impossible thing, especially for new players. I guess I'll just unlock it for now and see what he does. Ah. Reserve units, so... I want to see what some of the... I want to see what some of the, what do you call it? God, I cannot talk recently. Like, I just keep losing track of it. I'm like, I need some, like, Prevagen or something. Haha. Oh, nice. I like that they actually put a, like an actual model of the Arleigh Burke class on here. I say it before. It's Tetris. I agree. Let's send little buddy to Chinese coast. Now we're gonna send him to Taiwan, see what happens. Just one single Arleigh Burke class. DDG 51. As for... Hey, look. Construction. Okay, so that's army construction. Where's civilian construction? Unless that's not, that hasn't been implemented yet. Defense Department. Research Department. See, I told you. This is the exact reason why I've always had issues with Supreme Ruler, is that for new players, this is goddamn like worst game to try to navigate. Build, that's what it is. But I swear to God, there's a button over here for it too. They moved facility construction onto the bottom right UI. I hate it. Yeah. At least I'm not the only one. And again, I don't see it. Like, okay, supply chain, diplomacy, view map, resources. Okay, let's look at uranium. I'm gonna build some uranium mines, and I also want to build some like nuclear power plants. Electricity. Electricity. Population. Coal. Petroleum. Oh my god, we can just dig in Los Angeles and pollute it even more. Tooltip facilities you pass over. It's one of the tiny square buttons. Oh. So those are my active facilities. Controls. Supply chain. This is like the worst possible stream. Resource. Oh, nice. I like that. Open up the resource department on the bottom left. Oh, wow. Oh, God. Makes me want to end my life. And I still have to right click. And it only shows up as... No! Whatever. I'll figure it out later. Transport, military, industrial. Uranium mine. I joined your Discord, by the way. I can hop on a call on push to talk if you want to make it easier to help point out where things are. Yeah, I'm gonna get the expert in on this. Oh my god, he has a freaking Discord now?
Hello.
Hello, sir.
Hi.
Now let me change the things so people can hear you.
Okay.
This game is so frustrating.
It is very hard to approach as a new player. I made sure to include that in the feedback I gave them in the first playtest.
Got it. Okay, I got it. Let me make sure. Making sure people can hear you.
Hello, world, and all who inhabit it.
Okay, that should be fine. If it's too loud for those who are watching, go ahead and let me know. Okay, so what am I getting wrong here?
All right. So what exactly are you looking for? The ability to just make
Just,
things like buildings?
yeah, so like I know there's a way that you can right click it and then build industrial, military, urban, or transport, but I know there's a thing where you can go in and specifically go to like uranium mine or
Yeah. Yeah.
something like
So
that because I know that
what?
that was in the previous one.
Yeah, so what you're remembering is, as you see all the UIs in corners right now, so at the bottom left corner of your screen, there's all the different departments. If you select the one that's kind of in the shape of a cube, that is the resource department.
Okay.
That is where you remember the facility button being.
Yes.
They moved it to the bottom right now, so it's like detached. So what you have to do now instead is you have to have that bottom left UI open of, for example, resources, and the facility controls at the bottom right, and it will show you all the resource buildings you can make. If you
Oh,
swap to military, for example, department, then the control panel will show all the military buildings you can make.
that's so dumb.
I agree, and
I
I made sure
hate
to stress
that.
this
I
in my
hate
video,
that
my
so
first
much.
impressions, and in my call with Chris, but they very much disagreed that this was a problem.
Well, hopefully they take me playing it as like, oh, this is an actual new player. Because I have very limited experience on Supreme Ruler. Like I've played it, but I never familiarized myself with it. And Crab Rangoon recognizes you. Um,
Uh,
but yeah, like that is like the worst. Oh my god, there's a North Korean in Chicago.
it's probably a spy, yeah.
How do I get rid of him?
You can place spies on counterintelligence missions if you want.
Of all the places the North Koreans go to Elmhurst, Illinois.
AI, when they place spies, they're usually just placing recon spies, so it's usually not something to worry about.
It's
But they're a
exact.
bit more aggressive with spies in 2030 compared to Ultimate.
There's a Romanian spy. There's an Ecuadorian spy. I don't think that's Ecuador. That's it's like Ghana or something. Anyway, yeah, I really don't like that at all. Like that you need to have. I kind of get where they're coming from with it, but that is like honestly really, that's really kind of crappy.
Yeah, I don't like it. Like, I feel like I have to bend my neck to just look at the same action. Like I'm trying to build something. I have to look at the left to make sure I have that done. I have to look at the right to make sure I'm doing that. Everyone that I've shown it off to kind of has the same thought. The devs vehemently disagree that it is a bad thing, but I personally couldn't tell them where to move it if they wanted to put it back to the left side, because this UI is made entirely with the idea of expanding every single menu with that thing you keep pulling up, how you keep pulling up the menus into bigger versions.
Mm-hmm. Like that. Here, I actually have an idea. That way you don't have to watch my stream. I'm gonna stream it to you, and then that way you know exactly what I'm looking at.
Yeah. You got it.
That way you don't have to wait for my stream to update.
They built every single menu in this game, the whole UI, around you having the ability to expand almost everything. Pretty much almost everything can be pulled up like that, and that is why
I
things
like
are
that.
currently placed where they are.
I like that. I do like that, and I like the extra information we're most likely going to be able to get.
Yeah, they would love you because you keep pulling out the menus. I never pull them up, and then I just complain that things aren't where I want them to be.
Yeah, Christian said that he's going to be watching my stream later, that he's out and about right now.
Oh, hi, Chris.
Hey, Chris. I'm sorry I'm complaining about your game.
Yeah, he was really cool. He's the one I got in call with, and he talked to me a lot about the UI and took some feedback. And they take feedback, so whatever you have that you're thinking, say it, dude, because so many things I've said have gotten implemented either as new features, bug fixes, redesigns, you name it.
Okay. I'll definitely say it whenever I think about it. I love the reserve system. That's always what I really liked about Supreme Ruler, is that you can actually build up your reserves of certain items.
Yeah.
I'm kind of gay whenever it comes to this, because it's basically like oh well, I want more economic sectors like Power and Revolution.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
God damn, they have a lot of cities in Dallas. They got Sherman, Denison, McKinney, Plano, Garland, Carrollton, Louisville, Flower Mound. I like that. They have Norman, Stillwater.
Did you know that in Supreme Ruler 2030, unlike Ultimate, the loyalty map is different if you can navigate the bottom right UI to find the different maps and pull up the loyalty map. Every state currently is its own loyalty. You can actually turn Texas, if you wanted to, into like a colony and play it separate to the rest of the country.
Let's go. Fusion power. Let's bankrupt myself real quick.
Oh, yeah.
Estimated output. Production, what does that mean? Like, does that mean that I can just, like, tell everyone to have more production?
For what bars?
Right here.
The production percentage. Okay, so this was an SRU. They kind of changed how it looked. Based on what you select, capacity or demand, you can determine how much to produce. If you go by capacity checked instead, then you produce whatever percentage you set of the total amount that your industry can even produce. If you go by demand instead, you can put it in a range from like 0 to like 200 or whatever percent of your total demand. So you would just like never utilize your capacity unless your demand stretched that far.
Okay.
Demand is especially good for electricity because electricity is a resource where if you produce an excess of it and you can't sell it off by the end of the day, like at the end of the day, which is pretty much handled automatically anyway when the sector is unlocked, then the rest gets deleted. There's no capacitors or batteries you can store it into or anything. It's gone because you had nowhere to put the excess energy.
Okay. So how do I go and manually take out bonds?
Okay, yeah. So this one was fun. So go to the cabinet minister area, like you were at earlier,
Finance one?
in the finance. Yeah, go to finance and then the cabinet minister for that. And you kept hovering over it. It's this button in the center with no tooltip that has yeah, I see it on your screen right now. That has there you go. You just
Oh,
have to click it.
damn it.
They made that one hard to find in the
There's
current
nothing
UI. They
over
keep
it.
changing things. Yeah, you kept hovering over that one. It's weird that it doesn't have a tooltip yet, so you don't really necessarily think you can click it, but that's where they put the bonds right now.
Oh god, 5.9%, $46 billion. Why?
That is because you left him unchecked, and he's gonna keep pulling that stuff out right now. All the 3% ones are from the start of the game. All the higher ones are things your minister did since the beginning of the game.
Oh. Yeah, that's why I said the first thing I'm gonna do is lock it, and
Oh
then it
yeah,
was just like,
you
hey,
got
it
that.
was like, hey, I need I need money, and then it's like, no, please.
Whenever they ask, like in the alerts for permission to take out bonds, they're not actually saying that they need bonds. That is the game prompting you to decide whether or not you want to deal with that, or if you just want a helpful one-click button that allows your AI to like confirm, yes, I can start doing this now.
Oh, there's no uppy thingy on bonds.
Yeah, I know. They're still working heavily on UI and all the expansions and whatnot.
So when's the official release for this?
There is no official release date at the moment. There's just estimated releases. They're just kind of talking in quarters right now.
Don't worry about why I'm importing so much uranium. Don't you worry about that, buddy. Okay, so what is this trade target? Explain that to me.
Okay, so this is something from Galactic Ruler. The trade target can go right or left. I believe to the right, the further right you go, the more you're telling your AI, hey, I want to stockpile this much of a supply of this. Whether you have to do this by importing or by simply not exporting, whether we have the production for it or not, just do whatever you need to do to get me that much of a reserve of it. So if I use this much a day, for example, you have it like 2.1 years right now, I want 2.1 years worth of this resource sitting around at all times. If you put it to the left, you'll eventually get to a point where it's just saying like export it as much as possible. That's the inverse. You know, like I don't even want a reserve. Just make as much of this as I possibly can and sell all of it.
Okay. I do like that.
Yeah, it was very handy thing they implemented in Galactic Ruler, albeit Galactic Ruler had even like a way simpler resource system than this, so it probably wasn't needed there. But for here, I think it's definitely very helpful for those that don't really know how to manage the resources and might need some help micromanaging that.
What country are we playing as? The United States, of course. So how do I do the loyalty for Texas and like make them like autonomous or something?
Okay, this is a multi-step process. I have only experimented with this slightly. So select your land tab at the bottom left, the one with the little world. All right, now, oh, you're already on Texas. Click on that little Texas flag. Let me see if I can navigate you there. Go to that little row going up and down from the cabinet minister down. In the center, there's like the severe action button. Oh, influence relations is what it is now. Okay, in the current UI design, it's a really tiny, tiny button under the word Texas. Yeah, you got it. Click that. And then one of these options will say return as colony. Yep, so you do that, and then that will make it a colony.
Okay.
And then in this game, which is kind of pulled over from Galactic Ruler, you can play as your colonies and then just like ignore the actual country if you wanted to.
Okay. Oh, get out of here, Romania. Why are they in Louisville?
Trying to see what's going on. They know you're looking at Texas. They're
They're just gonna find druggies.
trying to keep tabs.
Uh-oh. No. No, it's a
Oh,
bug.
yeah, that's a new one.
No!
That's a new one.
No!
Open another panel over
No!
that and that goes away. Yeah, that's a new one in the newest update.
PTK in the chat. Alright, where's Niagara
Just so you know,
Falls?
as a quick note, your Discord link under the stream for your Discord does not work.
Oh. Does that mean there's gambling happening here? Or that's just a tourist attraction.
Yeah, the tourist attractions generate free economic activity, so free economic growth. Those are literally free money.
Do they produce a lot of it or just a tiny bit?
They produce an okay amount. It doesn't really cost you any input. There's a tourism rating. If you start looking through all of your information under like the State Department, for example, every country has a tourism rating. The tourism rating is literally just free economic growth. It comes from not being at war, from like spending on things like environment and culture, and for free also by owning the tourist attractions. And it does add up, especially for a country like America that has a ton of them. Oh, it adds up to be quite a bit.
Okay.
It can make them actually good targets to like go to war for if you're like a smaller country and you need some kind of like permanent economic boost from something.
What the hell? Did my stream just go down?
I see your stream.
What? Hang on, what?
Is your dashboard telling you weird things?
Yeah, just... What the fuck? Oh, I'm like, okay. Oh god, I got scared. I was like, I had a, so whenever I started this, you told me about that and I had to restart the stream. I still had the other one pulled up. And I got scared. I was like, oh, no, no, no. Yo, BattleGoat Studios is in Ancaster?
That's a, that was in SRU as a little meme building.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, they put it on the map now.
I'm gonna like get rid of all of New York City and it's all gonna be BattleGoat. It's all BattleGoat, always has been. Someone said I can see the game, just no activity. I know, it's because I'm learning.
Learning. I think I have like a dozen guides on SRU now, and I keep making more. It's just that complicated of a game.
Yeah, and I thought Power and Revolution was complicated.
The big thing with Supreme Ruler is they tried to make it as, on the outside, simplistic and approachable as possible, but all the systems are still there, hidden in all the UI. So it's one of those things where you can dip your toes into really easily, but if you want to have an idea of what you're doing, you have to know a lot. It's kind of like stepping into like an MMO. You can play the game pretty easily, but would you survive in a raid? No.
Mm-mm. Okay. So how do I essentially like stabilize my economy?
So for right now, in terms of resources, since that's what you're looking at, all of those are unlocked, meaning aside from like you setting trade targets on specifically uranium, your AI is trying to balance everything out automatically, specifically because you haven't told him to do anything else. So he's kind of already taken care of that. Now, by stabilizing your economy, it's kind of like you have to set your own goals. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want economic growth? Do you want financial stability? Do you want a lot of one resource for you to export? Do you want them to all be self-sufficient? These are things you have to pick first before you start going in and doing stuff.
Mm-hmm. So if I want to become self-sufficient and just target economic growth, then how would I do that?
Well, all right. So for self-sufficiency, the micromanagey way is to click on every single resource department and look, are any of the red bars bigger than the blue bars? Do I need more production of certain things? If you do, that's when you open up the facility controls and then you start building those kinds of facilities. Otherwise, you can set trade targets to have your AI import those kinds of things. But of course, if you want self-sufficiency, you have to go ahead and build it. Oil derricks are very expensive. Oil fields, gas fields? I can't read, it's so tiny. Gas fields are the cheaper place to start for increasing oil production. Yeah, you just go to any of the red spots and you can start placing down everywhere. Do note, they can hold more than just one facility per hex. It's based on how bright of a red color you see. The brightest red color, you can fill the entire hex with these facilities. The dimmer red colors, you can fit less. Yeah, you'll see the circle around it will turn red once you've already filled up the hex or filled it with that resource.
Someone said looks trash, won't lie. All right, time to pollute the living hell out of Los Angeles as if it's not already.
Just to the left of the build button that you selected, by the way, on the bottom right corner, there's the build at minister suggested location. If you don't want to select a location and there's already facilities with room anywhere, you just spam that button and the AI will just start placing things wherever he finds space. And then you build too much, run out of indie goods, collapse into debt, and die.
Yeah, so how do I, so whenever I'm like doing all this funny stuff, like how do I like prevent myself from like, yeah, see my income is already
well, okay, your day one income when you start constructing will look terrible because there's a lot of initial costs to be paid day one for construction projects, but as you just keep going, that part will resolve itself. If you're actually looking at the details in the finance screen, whenever you build stuff and then it like starts keeping track of how much money you're spending, it will actually specify under the different things under the expense report. If you hover over them, like it'll expand information in a tooltip. It might also show if you pull that expense report out. You're on the expense report right now, by the way. Yeah, there you go. It'll tell you like facility, like construction right there. Like the construction cost is pretty high. That is what you're spending daily on construction. It will be higher the instant you place something down. This is where you can get all the details of like where you're spending money, where you're making money, try to figure out how to balance your budget.
How do I see construction progress?
For the actual in construction facility progress, you'd either have to go to the facility on the map or at the bottom right corner UI, there's the little facility tab next to the facility controls that you have pulled up right now. And you can sort that to show in construction and then examine them all from there.
How do I see in construction?
At the bottom right corner next to facility controls, I believe it has the facility tooltip. Yeah, you were just over it. Just to the right of that, just to the right of controls. There you go. Yeah, and so you select, for example, yeah. Okay, you're getting one of those at the top is in construction. Then you click on petroleum and you expand that. It's a little list.
See, you see how I'm trying to hover over it and it's not highlighting?
That looks like there's a bug on actually selecting. Yeah.
I think I figured it out. You have to hover it over here instead of hovering right over it.
Yeah, that's a bug. That's a bug. And this is where you can see everything building and whatnot. You can cancel it. You can pause it.
How do I see when it will be done?
I don't know if it'll show on this tab, but when you're actually over it, and Okay, so yeah. Okay, so find one that you're building, and here's how I usually. Oh, you hover over, it tells you right there.
Yep.
If
Okay.
if you get into the facility list of a hex, it will tell you how many days remain at the current building pace. Now, do note, current building pace can be influenced dynamically based on the amount of supply reaching a hex, based on things like your infrastructure spending, and based on whether or not that hex is getting shot at by somebody.
I love that. It's so simple. So in that case, would it be better to make a rail? If I'm building a fusion power plant right here, would I make a rail or would I make a road?
Now you're asking the deep supply system questions that I made like an hour-long guide on. I will try
I'm not
to
watching it.
condense this.
I'm not referring people to your channel. Screw you. Don't advertise.
I will condense this as best as I can to explain it in like 1 minute. So, you have hexes. Hexes have things on them that produce supply. The thing with the highest amount of supply that reaches an area takes priority. Nothing else matters. So let's say you had a supply hub near this with 100% supply, and everything else had like 20%. The supply spread from that hex reaching here would take priority, and you could expand that with roads or rails. Rails are far cheaper for spreading supply than roads. You can also load units onto rails, and they'll transport on a train, which is an actual unit type, get attacked on a train, and you're not going to have a good day. Roads are more for motorized, mechanized units to move faster instead of at a set train pace, but they're also more expensive, but they do also have the ability to spread supply. If all you want is to spread supply for the cheapest amount possible, you connect one hex to another hex with rails. Ideally, you're connecting hexes that have good supply to hexes that have bad supply. That is my 1 minute condensing.
Supply chain.
The supply chain is not like supply. That's like showing you what all your resources are being spent on, where they're coming from, where they're going. That's a new thing.
Okay, I got it. Someone says looks trash, don't lie. It looks the same just as all the others. But then someone said it looks more complicated.
The game mechanics are pretty similar. It's just I think the UI makes it more complicated.
So do you think that this is better? Do you think this is better or worse
than Supreme Ruler Ultimate?
Mm-hmm.
In terms of game performance and total amount of features, I believe this is improved. In terms of game UI and new player accessibility, I think this is worse.
Yeah, I agree.
I think the SRU UI was way more accessible to a new player. The fact that it had less features already made it more accessible. They've been adding a lot of new features. Like, every time there's a new playtest update, they add, like, at least 2 new features. Like, one amazing thing that they've added that the other games did not have is now you can actually go into diplomacy with another country, and you can trade entire battle zones back and forth. Like, selling them and even between players now, which is part of a very long requested thing for balancing, like, PvP matches and whatnot.
Let me see. Where's oh, how do I get rid of the clouds?
That'll be in what you're looking in the correct area. Just go between the squares. Look for yeah, weather. And that hides the weather system from, well, visually.
What the hell?
It's a British spy.
British.
Ash.
I'm someone the deep depths of Magnitogorsk. No idea where that is. Alright, so the question is our children learning? Where the hell is Bakhmut? Oh, I'm gonna fucking kill him. I'm gonna fucking kill him. Are you fucking? I'm literally gonna boycott this game. Why is it called Artemovsk? Why would they call it that? I'm going to raid their facilities. BattleGoat, change this immediately.
For the 2023 map, I was asking in like their comments and in my call with Chris, what are you guys gonna do about Ukraine? How are you gonna handle Ukraine? Because they don't answer it like anywhere. Like because we were talking about the complications of designing like a modern day map and figuring out how to predict the endings of conflicts that are ongoing and how individuals will react to that kind of thing. And Chris is like, so you know how you ask, how are we going to handle Ukraine, the end of the war? And he's like, well, I ask myself that every morning.
I bet. Well, he can start by changing the goddamn name of Artemovsk. That's supposed to be Bakhmut. You can tell they haven't touched this name like since like because like this game like they've had this they keep porting the game like over and over and over again. So I'm pretty sure this is from like the 2015 version of the game, and they just never changed the name of Bakhmut. So this is literally like the pre-2016 name of Bakhmut. I'm going to like go into their Discord like right after this stream, and I'm gonna yell at them.
Complain loud enough, and they'll change it. That's what I keep doing.
No, it's called Kharkiv. Oh no, okay, I thought it was Kharkov for a second. Oh god, I got scared. I would literally delete this game if it was called Kharkov.
Hey, they got the Kiev spelling.
I know they did. Kiev.
Yeah, I'm terrible with
Kiev.
that.
It's Kiev. Don't call it Kiev.
I play too many World War II games, man.
I know. The only people that call it Kiev are like people that like study World War II and people that just know the difference between the names and they just want to support the Russian side of the war.
Oh yeah, I just play way too many World War II games.
It's actually funny. They have a Zaporizhia right here, the nuclear power plant right in the center of Zaporizhia. It's actually right over here is where the nuclear power plant is. I'm gonna like study Ukraine in this game and I'm gonna send them like a laundry list.
I'm sure they'd appreciate it. They've made several posts saying, if you see something on the map that isn't quite accurate, let us know, because we're just a bunch of Canadians doing our best.
Okay, so I'm gonna piss off like the entire Discord server in there. I'm gonna go in there right fucking now and I'm gonna tell them to change the name. Like interrupting my own stream because it pissed me off so much.
Gabe says, please check Brazil.
Hang on, I'm gonna... It won't let me post... Oh shit, they don't let pictures in the thing.
This stream is your picture. Since you're in the playtest, they should have a place that you can go to on the forums dedicated to the beta testing that they look for where you can post pictures as well.
Okay. I just went into this. They wouldn't let me post the picture, so I was just like, change the name of Artemovsk. Ha 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 ha. Change the name. Bakhmut. Alright, now time to piss Gabe off. They put Rio and Sao Paulo like Eversim did once. I'm gonna scream. So Sao Paulo's right here. And Rio, yeah, they actually got that right. Because I remember flying to some flight simulator, and I remember this little bay right here. Where's Christ
As a
the
note,
Redeemer?
if you don't like that like water effect, you can actually turn that off in the options to just get a clean blue if you're not a fan of that.
How do I do that?
It's in one of the settings menus. It'll be like turn off water effect as a menu option.
Oh, okay, okay. He said, okay, they didn't. Thank God.
You should have seen the like first playtest map data. It was hilarious. We had Trump for president, and America had almost 1 billion population.
Oh my. No, it's doing it again. I'm just gonna like start quipping about like the geography. Kosovo exists, okay.
Cancelled.
What is Russia Crimea? Not
Yeah, they made
based.
it a colony. That's a new thing. They just did that with this update.
Made Crimea a colony or made colonies exist?
They just made Russian Crimea a colony.
Oh, who did it belong to? Did it just belong to Russia proper?
Yeah, it was just directly their territory until now. That might be a sign of how they plan on handling it in one of these maps.
They make like the entire southwestern Ukraine just colonies. Oh, wait, hang on. Oh, you bitches. I can't play as the Taliban.
One neat thing they added in Galactic Ruler and here is colonies can actually rebel now. So,
Oh, really?
for example, let's say there was a USSR and all of its states that weren't Russia were colonies, like you have in the Cold War setting of SRU. You could actually get the Soviet Union to like fall apart into a bunch of rebellions if you wanted to, as an
Based?
outside force. So right now, it is technically in your capability to try to sabotage Russia to the point where Russian Crimea there rebels from them.
That's so based. I'm still like really mad about Artemovsk. I'm gonna be pissed off about that for a minute. Not really, like, aha, I have a spy in Artemovsk. Bakhmut, I'm gonna call anyone calls it Artemovsk in the chat, I'm gonna ban you. This is a
Well, one good note is you can, when you own something anyway, you can rename it.
So battle zone control, release land. Trying to think of like other like, oh wait, hang on. No, damn it, they did the same shit to India and Pakistan. For some reason, like Eversim had this exact same issue where they would they gave all of Kashmir to India. So what it's supposed to look like is that this little slip of land, like right here, is supposed to belong to Pakistan. So they need to establish it along the line of actual control, not not giving all of Kashmir to India, because Eversim did the exact same thing, and I've been telling them to do it along the line of actual control. Or what they could do, like with Russia and Crimea, they can come over here and split Kashmir into two separate colonies. One's an Indian colony and one is a Pakistani colony. And then what they can do is that then that gives both countries the opportunity to acquire all of Kashmir without directly going to war against that country. So either that's my, and I'm mostly saying this out loud so Christian can see it when he watches this later. Yeah, so Christian, biggest thing, split it along the line of actual control if you want that, or do what you did with Russian Crimea and then just split both into two separate colonies, and then that way both countries can acquire the lands. So that's an idea.
That would actually also work in terms of like limited scale like war, in case that was the method used to acquire the other half, because technically speaking, colonies in this game can be at war with other countries or colonies without being at war with the entire array of like the country and its colonies.
Exactly. That's why I was thinking about it, because like then if it's the line of actual control and you wanted to go in and capture the rest of that region without directly having to take the capital of the region to end the war,
Yeah.
then that, I think that colony idea could work.
Although they did also add another way to make peace in this game that wasn't in the prior ones. So like one thing that could happen is, let's say just all of Kashmir is a battle zone. I don't know if it is. I don't know if it isn't.
How do I look at battle zones?
It's one of the filters at the bottom right in the lists. But they added the ability to make peace based along battle zone lines. So you could actually go into a war and then invade that region and then negotiate peace based on battle zones, and then you could acquire specifically like that battle zone if you control most of it when you make the treaty. It'll be in the lists, not like the controls and the mini map and those tiny gray ones. It would be in those bigger square boxes where they have all the lists.
So if that's the case, make all of Kashmir into a battle zone.
Yeah, that would function for that purpose.
And then honestly, for the war in Ukraine, they could do all of like what Russia owns right now, like how they split it right here along the Dnieper, kind of come up right here. But then in the Kharkiv, I almost fucked up. I called it Kharkov. I've been bitching about it the entire time, and I called it Kharkov.
My favorite game, Escape from Tarkiv.
Forget boring war. What about the economy? that's the right idea, Gabe. But anyway, yeah, I think that's maybe what they could do. Is that they could split it into a battle zone along what Russia owns right now, and then that way, whenever like if Russia and Ukraine go to war in a game, then they could split it along. I guess I'll call this the Kherson Donetsk battle zone, and maybe like make Kharkiv, this little battle zone right here or something like that. Anyway, if I can figure out how to turn this back off. Economy is it's okay. It's not like, I mean, it's a little more simplistic. I like this little trade target thing right here where I'm continuously having 2.5 years worth of uranium. So now I have like 6 years of sustainability. It honestly just looks the same. But was this in the previous one?
What?
This, where it shows you resource consumption and usage? I think it was.
Yeah, the newest aspect to that is, well, also I'm on the stream again. I'm on a delay, but the
Oh,
newest
sorry.
aspect to tracking that stuff is the supply. That supply thing you pulled up on the right. So believe this consumption and whatnot that I'm seeing on the stream right now. I believe that is a smaller version of it. That was not in SRU. In SRU, you could not pull up one handy thing to see where every resource was going and where it was all coming from. That was not in SRU.
Yeah, I like that. Someone, Gabe asked, do we still get hyperinflation after building a single factory?
So if you are like a super tiny country and then you build one factory, like one big factory, max size, that would probably cause a lot of inflation. One thing to remember in this game is that inflation and growth are the same metric the way they handle it. If they don't separate it like Eversim does.
Don't insult my Eversim.
In SRU, well, I prefer separating it.
I know.
What they have is more simple, and it's weird to work around. In the beginning of games, in SRU, inflation was way easier to mess around with because you'd also likely have your budget dramatically changing at the beginning of the game, like because everyone would ramp up their spending to try to get like 100% and everything. So that made building any factories at all at the beginning of an SRU game very tough on the economy. But later in SRU games, like you couldn't build enough to like keep your inflation going, relying exclusively on building things.
Okay. That's what these are. Diplomatic alerts, economic alerts, and military alerts. Okay, I get it.
One good thing about the combined economy inflation metric is that, like the growth and inflation metrics, is that technically you cannot Venezuela your country. You cannot make it so that inflation just gets unrecoverably high and your growth can never catch up because both things have to happen at the same time. If you're having a lot of inflation, you're also having a lot of growth. And so that can be a good and a bad thing depending on your strategy with your economy. The economy in this game is one of those things where it's like very simplistic to look at until you start expanding everything and looking at all the different metrics that are tracked and realizing it's all under the hood.
So what was that blue thing? By the way, I'm streaming to you directly again.
I see.
What is this blue thing right here? Is that just like exportable?
So the light blue that you're seeing, okay, let's go left to right. The dark blue is the amount of your capacity to produce this resource that is actively being used, like was actively used the prior day to now. The light blue is the capacity currently available in online facilities that is not being utilized for one reason or another. It does not tell you that reason. You have to figure that out yourself, but I could probably explain that if you wanted to.
Unused 173,000.
Yeah, it's usually if something goes unused, it's because either you told it to be unused, or in the case of AI managing it, it's like the AI could not justify making more of this because of either your trade target or because in the AI's point of view, it was not profitable to make more of this.
Okay, so settings. Like how I said, set trade target for 34 days, and then it automatically becomes the dark blue.
Yes, because you told him now you want to have a certain reserve of it. So what he's doing, rather than just like importing, because you already have excess production sitting around, he just turned it all on and started overproducing to get you to that stockpile point that you requested of him.
The U.S. and military-industrial complex, and I'm not using any of it.
Yeah, I don't think you have. I don't think you've manually gone and started building any military units, nor turned on the automated. That's one of those. Well, it's one of the few automations that's not on by default. Is production of military units and stuff. That's something you have to turn on yourself.
How complex is diplomacy? Someone asked.
Diplomacy is not the most or least complex or in depth of any of these grand strategy games. And I will refer to this more as a grand strategy than geopolitical. It has geopolitical aspects, but it is really more grand strategy. There's a lot of treaties, and they can do a lot of things. 2030 has much more in-depth diplomacy than SRU had, due to a lot of suggestions and feedback they've been getting. Oh, I see you've discovered the world market for units. This is also new.
Why am I selling the Nimitz? No, wait,
You're
I'm not.
selling
I'm not.
anything. Yeah, no. The world market for units is a new thing. Basically, anything you have sitting around in reserves that you don't want anymore. Usually in SRU, we would just go manually sell this to a country, or we would deconstruct it to get some military goods back. But now you can put it on the world market for units, and any other country can buy it. So, for example, America could pump out a bunch of F-35s, put it on the world market for units, and Zimbabwe can purchase a F-35 fleet. They also have a nice fail-safe for that, so you can't accidentally like spam it with a bunch of crap nobody wants. So if you start pumping out World War II biplanes and selling them on the world market for units and nobody's buying them, because why would anybody? Eventually, the world market AI just deconstructs them for military goods, and then that AI sells those military goods on the actual resource world market.
Oh, you can trade territories.
Yes, by battle zone or by colony. Battle zone is brand new with this update. Colonies is from Galactic Ruler.
I'm gonna give them something to sink a certain Russian capital ship with.
One thing you're seeing also on this screen is a thing from Galactic Ruler that they initially took out from this game to make it more like SRU. But after yelling at them, they put it back in. And that is the fact that now if you want to know all the research someone knows, if you want to know the resources they have, if you want to know their amount of goods and whatnot and their units, you have to get a treaty from them where they agree to share that information with you.
So it's basically just a lot of intelligence sharing?
Yeah. They have like intelligence sharing, like treaties now. That was added in Galactic Ruler. It was not in any of the previous games, and that kind of really affected like PvP games and whatnot. Or even just against AI. You could go and look exactly how many military goods does this country have. You could see. How advanced are they? What kind of research do they have? What kind of units do they have? Now you can't see any of that when you shouldn't. That's something I really, really like that they put in here.
Units, missiles. Here it is. Just give them a shit ton of artillery. Boo.
What?
They won't accept my artillery.
Yeah, they might not want to buy it for the terms you set right now. Likely because they're not at war and don't think that they need any of that.
Hang on, let me give him F-16s again. Oh. Designs. bruh. I'm gonna kill myself.
King Tiger has a good question, and you've played enough of this game that actually I'm kind of curious what you think before I come in with my played thousands of hours of this game approach. What do you think about building in like Supreme Ruler Ultimate of what you've played PG compared to Power and Revolution? In terms of building buildings.
I like in Supreme Ruler. So whenever it comes to like electricity production or something like that, whenever you have one building, is there a way that you can go in and kind of like manually adjust the funding, and then like it produces more, or is that whenever you have to go in and manually, whenever you have to go in and you manually click, like how I clicked earlier and was just like just spamming them?
So, okay, yeah. So there's like 4 ways to control the amount that a facility is producing of its maximum production. Let me know how in-depth of an answer you want.
Moderate.
Okay, so, all right, there's 4 different ways to control. Let's say you place a facility. There's 4 different ways to control the amount that it actually produces. Number 1, supply. The more supply it has on the hex, the more of its max it will produce. Number 2, infrastructure spending. The closer, well, just the higher up infrastructure spending is in general, the more that facility will produce as well. So that's already 2 things. And then on the screen you're on right now, we already looked, you can artificially limit how much you're producing. So you can tell like your industry there, hey, produce less of the capacity, produce this amount of the demand instead of this percentage of the capacity. And then you can also turn things off facility by facility if you wanted to do that instead.
Okay. I can't wait to see what all these like expanded informations are gonna show.
Oh yeah, dude, it looks way better than it looked when I got in the playtest. I'll tell you that much. They've been getting it far more nailed down, even with placeholder graphics. When I got the playtest, every single one of those expanded menus was broken. Every single one.
Mobile internet structure. So that's the other thing that I actually want to know is there a way for me available research? Okay. Oh my fucking god, I'm gonna kill myself. No. So I come over research queue. See, it's like they're hiding it.
I know. I complained about. Oh, you're gonna make me rant. They changed this from SRU. It used to be so simple in SRU. So
exactly.
The research menu at the bottom left, the research menu, first panel, as the developers call it, the first panel, they used to have the queue there. And then you'd press the button you press to pull up the queue, and that would pull up the list. It was so easy to navigate. It was so great, and I loved it. And then here, for some reason, according to Chris, they have this rule of like no lists or whatever. I forget exactly what it was on the first panel. And so they keep pulling everything out now so that you can expand it. But I hate that because it takes more clicks to get to what used to just be one click away.
And that could be like critical in a multiplayer game.
Could be, but you could also just adjust the speed. That's what we usually do in PvP.
But what if they don't wanna?
Well, then you need more accommodating friends.
Yeah.
Come play PvP with me.
Carriers. Yeah, like that's what's really throwing me off about this is that like it was right there, and that's where I'm still expecting it to be, and then I'm trying to like get it to work. And I'm just like, I don't know what I'm doing.
And that's one of those things when I was in call with Chris, I approached this from like I said, hey, this may just be because I played Supreme Royal Ultimate. I don't know how a new player would react to this. But
you're
like,
figuring that you're answering that question right now with me.
Yeah, but even you, like, you're remembering how things were in SRU, and it's that same mentality of, I'm going where I expect things to be, where they were in SRU, but they're not there anymore. Now I have to press an extra button to get to everything with this new UI. I hate that. I hate that part of it.
Am I able to like prioritize certain
Prioritize like what's getting researched first? If it's green, it's getting researched. It's not getting researched at a different pace. So long as it's green, it is getting researched. Prioritizing is only really necessary when you have too many things in the queue, to the point where some of them are like yellow and red.
So
red would mean you can't research it. Yellow would mean you can, but the active queue is filled. The only way to prioritize something is to free up space by pausing something that's already going, or just not adding that many things to begin with. They could really do with adding a ranking, like drag something up and down a list, though.
That's what I was thinking.
Yeah, that's something I've always wanted. If that is added, then I haven't discovered it yet.
What I kind of wish about this is, I like this where it's like it kind of like prioritizes it. What I want to see is something like this. I'm sorry, excuse me. Something like this, except it shows exactly what it's showing right here, where it's like, you know, warfare, etc., 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 and then you can click it, and then it opens these little trees right here, and it kind of like comes down, like kind of like how Power and Revolution does it, but better.
So kind of like an overlay of all the research.
Yeah.
In categories.
Like how they have it set up in the trees where it shows you like what goes into what, and then it goes into the next technologies, but it's kind of like, instead of this where you have to scroll, it's like you have something like this, but it's like, imagine this window right here is flipped, and then it kind of like extends downward. And then, yeah, you still have to kind of scroll, but it's a little bit easier to kind of see it.
I think I get it. Yeah, what you're looking at right now is essentially like you have a tech in the middle. On the left are all the most recent techs that needed to be researched to get to this point, or that you would have to research to get to this point if you're looking at something that is not like that. And to the right is things that this technology goes into. So it's kind of like that. It's just not showing you everything like you want it to. And I'd be curious to see if they could do exactly that, because this game, like Power and Revolution, every GPS has like what, a dozen, 24 technologies in it, in terms of like the big ones that unlock things.
Mm-hmm.
This game has thousands. I have the tree from SRU that turned into a web page, and you should see it, dude. It's gigantic.
What kind of facilities do we have? Same ones from the previous game?
There's some new ones, but the types are the same, yeah.
When's my fusion plant gonna be done? I want my fusion technology, even though we haven't discovered it yet, so there's no reason why I have it already actively discovered. Thermobaric weapons! I can go to Ukraine now and commit war crimes.
What were you saying earlier about wanting to make money?
Oh, shit. Damn. You got me there. I'm probably already getting demonetized because they named this goddamn... They named Bakhmut after Artemovsk. Then I looked up and I thought they named Kharkiv Kharkov. gonna study this with like a microscope. I'm gonna get mad and I'm just gonna be like, no, I'm gonna boycott it.
I have just messaged you a the PNG. You can zoom in on this. This is the Supreme Ruler Ultimate Tech Tree, and if you look at that, you might understand why it
Oh
shows a more
my.
compact version
Oh my.
in the game.
Oh my.
Because that is everything you want to see, as I understood it, as you described it.
Okay, never mind. I
How
take
would
it back.
you put that in the game?
Yeah, I take it back now.
It's
I don't want this in that form that I previously talked about. I take that back and
that's where this game has a lot of depth. Is this is only research, by the way. This is not unit designs. Between unit designs and research, there are thousands of things you research in this game. A lot of them unique to specific countries as well. Eversim kind of has like 12 researches, like maybe 24 tops by now. And it's like they're very generalized. They unlock very general things that everybody shares, and that's pretty much it. This is insane.
chameleon armor. Cloaking. The art dark energy warheads I want them.
This, by the way, as a reminder, is the Supreme Ruler Ultimate Tech Tree. It does get updated in this game. There are new things.
How long did it take you to make these?
I didn't make this. Somebody else made this.
God, that is autism for you.
I do not have the energy to do this. I can't do pictures. Have you seen my thumbnails?
Do you know who made this? Because I want to pay them to make something similar for Power and Revolution, except it's energy.
I do not know who made this. No, I found this a long time ago on the forums.
Damn it.
Just someone posted it.
Damn it.
And he has not posted his name on it. If this was somebody other than BattleGoat.
I'm gonna ask BattleGoat to make me one, except for Power and Revolution. They're gonna go, no? I like how there's a monitor going across the Irish Strait.
King Tiger asks, can you go to space? In this game, currently, you cannot go to space, but they did make another game called Galactic Ruler, which is all about space.
Oh, look at that. I'm running a surplus now.
Hey.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. No wonder I'm running a surplus.
Oh my god, the AI is stealing my strategy. Dude, this is my strategy for SRU PvP. I put all my taxes to max and then ramp up all my social spendings to 100%. And then, like, that works.
What, because you get more money?
Basically, you make everyone happy enough by simply giving them everything that they want, that they don't care when you take most of their money as much. Like, it kind of balances out.
So do I increase it?
100% would be like middle of the bar, double click. That's generally 100%. One thing to also note, though, is that if you're going for exactly 100%, that takes a little bit of micromanagement in the specific departments. That is 200%. Because technologies affect this stuff. So, for example, middle of the bar might give you 100% at the start with a certain amount of money spent for healthcare, right? But if you get some healthcare innovations, it might change. The middle of the bar for the same spending might become 105%, which means you're actually getting way more efficiency. You can then lower that to save money, or you can just take the increased efficiency for the same price.
Okay.
I see you're doing what America does best, taking out debt.
Yes, sir.
A lot of players for Supreme Ruler Ultimate were always very afraid of debt. A lot of new players I got into it. Just like players for Power and Revolution that I always see like commenting on my guides. It's like, how do I get rid of debt? How do I get rid of debt? How do I get no debt? I want no debt. How do I become self-sufficient without debt?
Send them to my channel.
One thing to remember is that in modern day especially, debt is normal.
Yeah.
Debt is what we use to create growth. there would be a lot less middle class in the world if we didn't have so much debt.
As if there is a middle class.
It kind of goes into this game as well, where it's like the economy functions around how much money's going into it, right? And circulating through it. And that affects really everything, both in Power and Revolution and here. You know, Power and Revolution exploits aside. Remember, industry pollution tax or something? Like, you could remember being able to ramp that up and your economy would not be affected at all, and you would generate like trillions of dollars for free.
Oh yeah, I love that. They nerfed the hell out of that.
I saw that in like 2020, 2021 or something. They nerfed it, yeah. But that was fun while it lasted, huh?
Yeah, now there's just an exploit with the wealth tax now.
Of course there is. And they don't fix these in the actual version. No. Pay $50 more, and then you get the fix.
Wah. Get money, scrub.
Listen, I bought GPS 2, 3, and all the Power Revolutions up to and including 2020. I don't want to pay anymore.
Don't worry about it. You gotta pay it.
Plus, God and Spy and everything.
Can I change the name of Beijing the Peking?
If you owned it. But I think you have to own it.
Oh, nice. Oh, wow. Oh.
So, okay, so you've discovered a tab that I was actually going to point out earlier, but I didn't know if you'd want to see this tab. You can also access this information at the bottom left UI, where all the departments are. That very first button, you just, based on what you have selected, it will show this. If you have your own country selected, you can see all the departments in there as well and manage them from within there. And you can even use it to cycle between your colonies, even while you don't have the colonies selected, and manage them from in there as well, such as setting priorities that you want them to follow, and etc.
And I can take out bonds. Let's go. I can take out more.
Oh, God.
Based.
Now take all that money and go successfully invade Romania with it, finally.
Hell yeah, let's go. Where are you, Romania?
I still can't believe you lost the entire USSR army to Romania.
Hey, you wanna shut up?
And best part about that scenario is USSR starts out with like the largest military out of almost every country.
Oh, I like that.
Or the banking.
Yeah, you see how it banks?
Dude, I went on the opposite of a rant. Like, I was squealing over this in my first impressions. And the devs just commented, like, I showed this to the whole studio of me just going, look at the animations. Oh, it's so cool.
That's literally me whenever they announce superpower.
Oh, the pain at the end of that word. Oh. Oh, dude, I was kind of semi-excited about that, and then I launched it up. Remember that? I launched it up. I was like, bro, the game doesn't even work. Dude, that game launched with 4% positive reviews. I have never seen anything like that.
I wanted to kill myself.
What were you saying about wanting to make money?
I don't care. Okay, how do I recognize? Why is their entire military deployed?
It's not actually. So what you're seeing here is, and this happens in SRU too, one way of protecting a nation that the AI kind of defaults to, especially with no priorities set. But it's pretty handy. It's a way of maintaining an active, ready force. Is it will not, just take those and start amassing on someone's border. It will use them as mobile garrisons, basically. Rather than assigning garrisons, which is a completely separate feature, it'll deploy units, get them ready, and entrench them in cities. But they probably have way more in reserves than what you're seeing deployed.
Yeah, I figured. I also like how, I can't remember the name of the island, but this little island right next to Xiamen, this belongs to Taiwan, and it does not.
Dun dun dun.
I think also Ping Tan belongs to them as well. Uh-oh. There's a civil war in Taiwan. I know. Superpower, every time I think of superpower in my channel, like I just get sad. I just feel sad. It gives me nightmares.
But was it worth it?
It was not worth it. I want to kill myself. Look, I'm self-sufficient and I have like 20,000 years worth of uranium.
Oh my god. You know, eventually, when you get enough of a resource, it stops telling you the amount of reserves and it just tells you, like, basically, yo, you have enough. It just stops counting after a certain excess.
But yeah, man, like, superpower, that everyone is people are still mad at me about it. Like, I honestly expected it to be competition. I should have been a lot louder. I should have made a video and said, hey, I think y'all are gonna hate this. I think that would have softened the blow. I was way too optimistic on that live stream, and everyone just hates me for it. Like,
with this game, I have taken a completely different approach since I was one of the first 4 content creators to get like a beta key. The other 3 just kind of played it. I started up a first impressions and I started saying some nice things. I got to the middle of the video and I said, now let me start yelling for the next 20 minutes about how much I hate this UI. Like, now let's wrap up with some more good stuff.
And that's why like
Battle Goat?
That's why I was telling him on that video, because like, so I don't know if you were here whenever I first started talking about the video that I made where Christian got in and yeah.
Yep.
So that's the biggest thing, is that he like that's what I was complaining about, and I kind of felt bad that he came in was just like, well, I hope your opinion changes, and I was just like, dude, I don't mind testing out your game if you want me to, but like you have to admit that like the game looks the exact same from the surface. Like, yeah, I'll probably get in and be surprised about how much a lot of things have changed, and I am surprised about how things have changed. It's the exact same issue whenever it comes to Eversim that people complain about, where the game looks the exact same. It looks the exact same. The UI looks the exact same. Yeah, it's less buggy, but like on the surface, it's the exact same thing every single time they make a game.
In my opinion, I believe this is something that BattleGoat and Eversim could be said to have in common, is that they're making a game. I think Eversim's probably a little more guilty of this part, but they are approaching it financially. They are picking a target demographic and trying to sell this game to that target demographic. Who's probably making the umpteenth edition of Power and Revolution, GPS, etc. the most money? Is it brand new players getting into the game, or is it old fucks like you and me that have been playing since GPS 1, 2, or 3 and have been buying every edition and pouring all this money into the upgrades and the DLCs? Who's making them more money? Who, if they had to pick a target demographic, could they sell this game to and make the most money, keep their business going and whatnot, if they had to pick? Brand new players to try to expand and like pull a paradox and like just completely like, you know, casualize their game and make it totally approachable to everybody, or retain the now like decade plus long community and player base that they've already created and try to tailor it specifically for them. I believe that's what's going on with both of them.
Yeah, because it's like, because that's the biggest thing about making these types of games, is that if you want to accustom it to people, if you want to custom it to people that are interested in these kinds of games, but they're new, they come from a more general audience, you would have to dumb this game down like dramatically. And that's the biggest thing, is that like, yeah, like like me and you and all of these other players that that are watching this right now, we can all be like, oh my god, look, they allow you to do quantitative easing, they let you do this, they let you do that. And then if they were to go like, okay, we're gonna make like Civilization 5, where they make like, oh, you can increase your taxes, you can do this, you can do that, but it's extremely simplistic. You're not taking into account like what GDP debt ratio is, or what your structural surplus or deficit is, or your deficit, or something like that. They to meet that like Grand Theft Auto audience, like they would have to dumb this thing down to like nothing.
Yeah, and I think they've kind of over the years, I think they've already done as much as they're willing to simplify it by, economic growth and inflation are the same metric. That's a huge thing all by itself, because having made guides just like you, and I'm sure you get the same comments for P&R, nobody knows what inflation is or how it works, dude. Nobody.
Yeah.
Nobody. And that goes for other parts of the game as well, not just in economy, but in all sorts of things, just finances, especially anything that has to do with money. Nobody knows how that works. They have a lot of advisors and ministers and priorities you can set to literally have this game play itself for you if you just really don't know how anything works. Beyond that, what they would have to do if they wanted to target brand new players is start cutting things out, start getting rid of things. And then are you really going to sell the game to the same audience that you've been selling it to? And would you attract enough players if you did cut out parts of the game and you did try to simplify it beyond adding ministers and advisors that can hold the new players' hands?
Yeah, and it's a double-edged sword.
Yep. I think they know what they're doing. I think they've thought this through. I think they have picked their target demographic, and I think they're selling the game to that target demographic very well. I don't think that target demographic is brand new, grand strategy players that are looking for like a new Paradox game, or geopolitical players that are looking for like an Eversim competitor.
Why is there a Libyan spy in Raw League?
Trying to see what's up.
I love that.
They've expanded the spy system a lot with this game. Is something that I like. It was very rudimentary and basic in SRU. I started talking to Chris in our call about how we use the spy system in PvP and some things we use it for. And he took a huge problem we encountered with the sabotage spy action and turned that into the cyber attack spy system.
So what does cyber attacks do?
So, just quick 1-minute explanation. The problem we had was sabotaging is just to damage things. If you want to get rid of enemy production, you have to sabotage something a lot. And they didn't really realize that that is how sabotage would be used. Chris seemed pretty surprised by that. So, I expressed why we use it. We wanted to get rid of enemy production, be it permanently or temporarily. So what they implemented now is cyber attack is something that if it succeeds, then for a period of time, whatever facility is targeted will just simply be turned off completely. and will produce nothing. It won't be destroyed, but it will produce nothing. So you can set up a whole bunch of spies and orchestrate a gigantic, like, countrywide cyber attack on the oil industry, for example, in the middle of the beginning of an offensive. Like, let's say, you know, Russia invading Ukraine. What would happen if Russia's entire oil industry turned off when they started their invasion and started marching their convoy down to Kiev? Uh-oh. Now they can't move. And so that's something cyber attack is pretty handy for, and that's exactly what I always wanted with sabotage.
So I just did a cyber attack, so when does it go into effect?
So there's, you did it off the map. That's a new thing, doing it off the map. I don't know if it shows you all the details, but if you go into your land tab, there's an actual dedicated spy like section, or at least there was in SRU.
Haha,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think it was an SRU. Try the state tab.
Oh, that's what that is.
I forget where it was now. Yeah, that's the current UI for supply.
Yeah, I like that.
That's placeholder. Chris made that himself. Yeah, I forget what tab they moved it under for right now, but you can actually see when you select a mission, the time on the mission when you actually go through the proper spy UI. And that mission time, like when you get to the end of that time, it will be like, it will tell you whether or not it succeeds. You can build new roads and rails, King Tiger, pretty much whenever you want. Cities? I don't think you can do that in Supreme Ruler. You can do it in Galactic Ruler.
No.
What are you looking for?
Cities.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, they
Supply.
got rid of that in Ultimate.
Supply depot.
Yeah, supply depots are pretty important, as I'm sure you could tell.
God, I am so hungry right now.
Yeah, you said that you don't understand the supply system.
Nope.
So let's say you were doing an invasion of a country, right?
Uh-huh.
Especially one with maybe, let's just say, middle of the road supplies.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple ways to go about it, and I'll try to keep it all as simple as possible. There's a static strategy.
Asking you to keep something simple is like a lost cause because you end up talking for like 20 minutes. I'm just kidding. Go ahead. Go ahead. No, you're good. You're good. I don't care. You're good.
Let's say you tried a static approach, right? One thing you could do as America, let's say you're invading Mexico, because the border with Mexico is not very well supplied. It's mostly desert. There's not a lot of stuff there. There's not even a lot of stuff for you to take over and seize the supply production from. So one thing you could do is,
hey, by the way, it's State Department, and then here.
Yeah, there you go. You found it. You can click that little spy thing at the top right to select a mission, and the information provided will tell you the time when you hover over it. Like time 45 days for one of those missions. You'd wait 45 days to see the outcome.
Oh, there's how it, okay. Duration 50 days.
But if you want to like invade Mexico, you would find a point along the road, for example. Place down enough mixtures of like air bases, seaports, and supply hubs, or combine them with cities and other complexes to produce enough supply in the hex. For example, 100% supply in the hex. If it's on a road or rail, that will then spread down the road or rail and supply everything on it. You want like the strongest hub possible connected by road or rail to spread it as far as can go. That's the static method.
Okay.
The other method is the supply trucks that give you nightmares.
Anyway, go on with what you were saying.
Well, if a non-static method would be to use supply trucks, supply planes, where instead of building up supply hubs, you can use these kind of together. You can rush your troops as fast as possible forward and then fly supply planes over them, or send supply trucks with them carrying supplies to keep them in supply, even though there's no hub that they're connected to keep them supplied.
Okay.
And that is my simple version of a static and non-static supply method if you're doing an offensive invasion. Defensive, of course, supply hubs are wonderful to have.
Ouch. I like how you can still build the wall.
Yeah. Yeah, that good old meme.
Border wall. Based. Wait. Oh, you can't drag it. Damn it.
Yeah, no, it's an actual building instead of like working like roads and rails.
So what's
because it works like a fortification.
Oh.
It's not actually like an immigration thing. It is exclusively a military fortification.
Just like build a wall along Texas.
The Trump DLC they made was so silly because they advertise it like, oh yeah, you could build the wall, but it's a reskinned fortification that you can place down by itself, and that's all it is.
How do I free Texas again?
So go to the land tab, click on Texas. Land tab, yeah. Left of the state tab. Now click on Texas flag. Now click on influence, that button, yep. And that little teeny tiny button, and then the one on the right.
What if I do independent?
Then it will be independent and you will not control it. You will free Texas. Now it is a colony. And if you click between America and Texas and look at the top left, you'll be able to like kind of get an idea of which one you're controlling. Like now you have Texas selected. So now America would kind of just be handling itself. And you could play exclusively as Texas if you wanted to. Or you could just, you know, micromanage them while you are otherwise playing your country. And yep, you can rename it. Also, yes, King Tiger, you can research new facilities.
Is United States still gonna be there?
I don't know. Probably.
Damn.
Just to indicate who owns it. And now this is where that very most bottom left button on your entire screen comes in handy. That pulls up that management menu. This is from Galactic Ruler, because you can swap between yourself and your colonies and manage all of their fucking shit in one handy place. I love it.
Calm down. I'm just kidding. Go ahead.
I think you've talked enough about Russia and everything that you're not getting money anyway, sir.
I got a little angry. All right, guys. Just like on that superpower stream, go ahead and leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new, and go ahead and donate to me because I am your favorite person. If you guys want to make sure that I'm able to eat tonight, I want some pizza. So if you guys are able to, go ahead and hit that membership button or send me your credit card information, and I'll go ahead and take care of that myself. So thank you guys so much for supporting my channel, and I'll be here. I'm not funny. I don't like how some of this is like it's there's no, like, you see how I have to click it really awkwardly?
I think that's a new bug.
Yeah.
That was not in there last time I looked at it. But you had that problem with the facilities list as well. That's completely new to me, so it's probably a new bug.
God, I wish I was writing some of this stuff down.
Well, you'll have this. That's the beauty of Supreme Ruler. It's so...
Yeah, I just feel bad
in-depth.
sending them a 2-hour stream.
He watches all of it on like 4 times speed or something. He's watched someone else's like 2-hour intro video to Galactic Ruler and replied with timestamps and everything.
Oh, wow. He's gonna love my Artemovsk rant.
He's
All
gonna
right.
love hearing my UI rants again.
I'm literally gonna quit this real quick. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do something really funny because I just want to complain about something. And
Oh
kind
yeah,
of like
look at the shattered world map if you get a chance.
we're gonna go Europe. We're gonna go Ukrainci. We're gonna go right over here. We're gonna go rename. If this is how I'm supposed to rename it.
Well, you already pulled up the rename hex.
Oh, that's
You
how
already,
you...
yeah, that works.
We're gonna name it properly. All right, there you go. Wow. Oh shit, it's still the same. You bastards. Oh wait, I hit the wrong button. Oh hell, it's oh no, it still won't name it the right way. Rename. Reset unit name, rename unit. Is that how you're supposed to rename it?
I believe so. They might have broken it for this update, though.
Shit.
It's entirely possible.
It won't let me rename it Bakhmut. I'm gonna boycott this game now.
One thing I stress in all my videos on this game is that this beta is closed for a reason.
Yo.
This is not intended to be like I sit down and do a playthrough of this game kind of beta. It's I sit down and test features of this game kind of beta.
That's all I'm doing. That's all I've been doing. Because someone said it earlier. They were like, well, you know, I don't see anything happening. And I'm just like, well, that's because this is a beta and I'm testing things out.
Yeah, we are testers. It's called a play test for a reason. This is not like beta as a word by gamers is now just synonymous with I can pay and get into it early.
Yeah, I had that exact misconception whenever I first started to play Kerbal Space Program 2, because I got into it and I was like, wow, this is trash. And then I thought about it and I'm like, yeah, no, they're just going the same exact route that what do you call it, KSP1 did. And so I understand now. Why is Angela Merkel here in 2024? Olaf Scholz, where are you? Why is Trump in office?
Yeah, that's
what is with the head of states? What is going on?
The map data is not done. That's more of a final thing.
Okay,
right now they're working on features.
Okay, this is kind of based that Santa Marine is still in Finland. It's kind of based. Aha, Erdogan's not in there. Ah. Oh, there's Modi. Winnie the Pooh. See, zoomed out, it looks actually way better. You zoom in and it looks like garbage.
You know what's so crazy? I think the exact opposite. I think it looks like crap zoomed
Yo!
out. It looks much better zoomed in.
Yo, base, let's go. Shinzo Abe's still alive in this timeline.
The zoomed in graphics are actually completely new for the most part. What you're seeing like on those trees and everything, it did not look like that in Supreme Ruler Ultimate. Those are entirely new models.
Yeah, I do notice that.
A lot of these graphical improvements happened in Galactic Ruler specifically. The devs like to refer to this as a sequel to Supreme Ruler 2020. I like to refer to it as a sequel to Galactic Ruler. Because so much of it is from Galactic Ruler.
Alright, time to stockpile military goods. Especially depleted uranium rounds.
Those red areas are a filter he has on King Tiger for resources.
No, he did the same thing. Hang on. I think they did the same exact mistake. Yeah, oh my god. They did the exact same mistake as Eversim that Eversim did in prior to like 2021, I think. That's the flag of Saddam Hussein. That's the Ba'athist Iraq flag. That's the one that Saddam Hussein had. Anytime you see someone referring to Iraq and they show you a flag of it, you see those 3 stars in there. That is the wrong ass flag. And you look back on any, like, you look back at Masters of the World, Rulers of Nations, Commander in Chief, they have the exact same flag. So that I every single freaking edition, and I know for a fact they're porting this from a previous edition, that that is the wrong flag of Iraq. So
Oh yeah,
Christian,
they're
Christian,
100% imported.
Christian, change the flag. You got Bakhmut wrong, and you got Iraq wrong.
I think he's gonna love this stream because you are tackling it much differently than anybody else. Where you are, of course, due to the nature of your channel, focusing on all the political aspects of the game and all the geopolitical data. I don't think anybody else has done that. I certainly haven't. I just focus on the mechanics, playing the game, and like what it's like to, well, play the game and learn the game.
Yeah.
Everyone else just focused on actually like making a playthrough of it, which I kind of thought that was silly. And you were just tackling all the geopolitical data, which is good because I don't think they have a lot of feedback on any of that right now.
I should consult for. They should pay me to consult for them on geopolitics for this game.
Hey, you got a free game. There's your payment.
Shut up.
Work.
Shut up. I do notice that they got South Ossetia and Abkhazia. I didn't notice that in the other game.
Because it wasn't there.
Kashmir is still wrong.
Every map right now is like slightly different, I think, depending on which one you pick. Yeah. Because this is the global crisis map. They'll eventually all be notably different maps.
I can't wait for him to watch this, and then he listens to the part where I'm going into the Discord telling him to change the name of Artemovsk.
You want a quick blast? Go load up the China campaign.
No. What does it do?
Go load up the China campaign. I think you'll get a laugh, actually.
Oh, God.
They got rid of the briefings. There used to be briefings there. So if you pull up the ownership map, the ownership overlay from the bottom left, something will become immediately obvious to you.
I don't wanna. Loyalty?
Ownership. It's just above loyalty. You might notice a couple weird things.
Mm-hmm.
Does China look smaller to you?
You talking about stuff like right up here?
No. Look to the west half of China.
Oh, shit.
Also to the south of that.
Based? Yo, let's go! Let's go! I love this so much.
The China campaign is very military oriented. It's about basically conquering everybody around you. And they start off by having you need to like reassert control over those 2 locations.
Yugurstan and Tibet.
Yep.
Based. I'm just gonna leave them alone and just screw my entire country. Hang on. I know exactly what we're gonna do here, buddy. Bam.
You'll get a laugh at the Russia campaign if you decide to look at the Caucasus, by the way. It doesn't reflect here, but if you go to the Russia campaign and look at the Caucasus, you'll get something funny.
Where are we at?
Well, yeah, as part of the campaigns for testing purposes, you get a world market offer at the start, which you actually have right now, that allows you to spawn in like 200 free mechs. And now those are all in your reserves.
Is there a way I can disband the entire military?
I have never considered such a question in my life. I've never considered such a question in my life. Probably not with the click of one button. Wait, how the hell did you get to this? I've been looking for this button forever.
What?
Where is this? Oh, this is under this button now.
Command?
Is it that bottom one?
No, it's right here. Here. Here.
Oh my good God, they moved that. I've been looking for that.
Really?
For like a month.
Really?
Yes. That used to be under the land tab.
Oh my God, I'm teaching
Or
you
no,
stuff.
it used to be its own button. It used to be its own button. Oh, thank you for finding that. I was literally just about to make a video on nukes. And I was going to say, oh yeah, this is gone. It's just they got rid of it.
Okay, how do I load nuclear missiles real quick, and how do I target myself?
To target yourself, you're gonna have to do that manually. You can't use this. You're gonna have to actually take, like, you know, a plane and then load a nuke onto it and then give it an order to attack one of your own hexes. This is very complicated, and I don't want to explain how to do this to you right now.
Please tell me. Just one plane. One plane. Just one plane.
This is a complicated enough task that I had to make a dedicated guide for it.
No.
I'd be here for the next 15 minutes helping you do this.
Fuck. Fine, I'll figure it out myself.
Almost nobody I know knows how to use nukes, and there's a reason.
I'll do it myself. 10 years after the global pandemic, the world has created a new normal. The increased violence of the last decade has created a world once again on the brink of global war. Our people need strong leadership and are counting on you to provide it.
Oh yeah, there's all your mechs.
Yeah, I see that. Where you at? Where's my nuclear weapons at? Pat.
Oh, we'll be here for a while. Again, even with unless I could just take control of your game. Nuking is very complicated.
No. Why is this game so overly complicated to try to use? Oh my. Are those robots?
Like I said, mechs.
Oh,
mechs.
I thought you were saying like...
Not like mechanized units. Those are walker mechs. Those are like mech warrior mechs.
Oh my God. Were they using trains?
They can use trains, yes. You can load units onto trains. If the balancing is the same from when I did exactly what you're doing, you're going to regret this.
Okay, hang on. How do I deploy all of my units?
There is a deploy all button at the bottom of that. It should look like two little arrows. Yeah, and now that'll just start deploying things as there's room to deploy them. The hexes have like a max amount of things that can be on them, so things have to move before more things can deploy.
Okay, so where's that? Where are them supply trucks?
Depends if you have any.
I like the Asian music that they have in here whenever you're playing like China or Japan or something like that. I love the music that's centric to who you're playing.
Yeah, that was nice from SRU, and everything you're hearing right now is from SRU because all the 2030 specific stuff is from Epidemic, and some of it is copyrighted.
Why did they use Epidemic when they know content creators are going to be using it?
Well, it was nice of them to at least put a toggle in to turn that off. Most games don't do that.
Yeah, exactly.
I've done, the first thing I did in this campaign is exactly what you're doing. And
what,
again,
do the funny thing where we throw people into camps like they're doing right now?
I was thinking more the Blitz this country, and assuming the balancing right now is the same as it was before, you're gonna die.
We'll see
Like,
what happens.
everything you're sending is about to die.
We're gonna see what happens.
Like, I did exactly this.
Boo!
Also, Bradley asked, do you think Everson will die once WWE comes out?
Probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
WWE's not as it's good. It's not going to beat Eversim in terms of detail.
It's also kind of like look at shooters instead. It's like, do you think Call of Duty will die when insert new shooter here comes out? Oh no. They'll just play Call of Duty and then play the other one and then go back to Call of Duty. There's not enough games in this genre.
I'm just waiting to run out of supply.
You're already almost out of supply.
Why do I get the supply? Oh, wow, I like that.
Not easily now.
Oh,
If
shit.
you do me a favor, go to your state tab and then just click on the country you're invading. Oh, they might have rebalanced it. You might actually stand a chance.
Why?
Because they used to have a really overpowered military in one of the earlier versions. Now they don't.
Oh.
And yes, I can tell that from looking at this.
Yeah, I know exactly where you're looking.
Yeah. That is a representation of their deployed military assets. That bar used to be the fullest one on the map in an earlier version.
Zoink Scoobs are coming for us!
Alright, so your supply situation is going to be awful, but you have a chance.
I love this. I love this now.
I love the animations they added. Those are
Yeah,
all new.
yeah, I like that.
But yeah, this right here is what in Supreme Ruler Ultimate we would look at as just like a common noob mistake. Running everyone down a single road. Too many things at that where they could never keep up with supply. Oh, they're getting on the trains. You see some of them are on trains. If you send them specifically down the rail line, they will literally all get on trains, and it's so cute.
Yeah, I saw that. Oh. Oh. Oh no! Hong Kong declared war on us. Oh boy.
Oh yeah, your loyalties can
Boy.
rebel. That's a new thing.
Boy, oh boy. It's like I'm about to go do something even funnier than what I'm doing in Xinjiang. Gee whiz! Hong Kong declared war on me. Oh. Wait, where's my Air Force? I'm deploying the wrong units, boy. Gee willigers. I don't know what I'm doing.
I can see that.
Oh, hell yeah, there we are. Let's go kill those 300 troops. Let's go clap some cheeks.
We took their capital.
Hell yeah. Oh.
As you might notice, they didn't have a military.
I'm pretty sure. Oh, oh my.
Generally, in Supreme Ruler, running off into the desert where there's no infrastructure at all is not a good idea.
So how do I get the supplies? What I'm trying to figure out.
There's the methods that I described earlier, which are especially needed when you invade a straight road with almost no cities or infrastructure on it. You need to either set up your own supply hubs before you advance, or prepare supply trucks and planes before declaring war to support your push. in Supreme Ruler, generally you need to set up invasions, kind of like in real life, rather than just doing them.
They're already out of supply.
You're getting there. You're at their capital. I believe in you. Maybe.
Oh no. Oh yeah.
Oh no, I take it back. Oh my god. Okay. They might have the military they had before. No, it was bigger than this. It was way bigger than this. If you had supply, you could do this. But yeah, right now you are basically doing what I like to call in SRU now, Russian convoy tactics. So you can experience exactly what it's like to be Vladimir Putin.
Guys, it's broken. I can't do the Russia.
All of your units are like in the front. They're all stacked on the one hex, and the enemies have a lot of artillery, and artillery damages everything on a hex, and so they're all just being eaten. You have good strategy in what you're trying to do right there. You have a good idea. I'm amazed you're getting this far with absolutely no logistical support whatsoever. That's quite impressive. Everyone stacked on that first hex is about to be dead. You see those bars?
I just like what this guy's doing right here. Yo, let's go, little biplane.
Yeah.
PG figures out military strategy 101.
Minus the logistics.
Россия священная наша держава, Россия любимая наша страна. I don't have any logistics because I am really stupid, because I am Putin.
So it's a mixture right now of your troops are out of both ammo and fuel at the same time. That makes it difficult, and it will trickle in depending on the supply connected to the road leading through your country. But
I surrounded the capital.
And now you're getting buildings that produce supply.
Took their capital.
So now the AI actually rolls a chance to surrender now that you've done that. If they don't surrender, they'll move their capital. Sometimes they'll move their capital and then later they'll be like, you know what, actually we surrender.
The entire game just muted itself. So now that I captured this city, I get supply from it?
Yes. Complexes, cities, supply hubs, air bases and seaports all produce supply. Roads and rails stretch them further. Otherwise they
Yeah, I
decay
see
pretty rapidly.
I see how like my stuff is actually supplied now.
Ownership of a hex in war is determined exclusively by supply in it. So you can see your supply on that road, like you're not really conquering all those empty spaces. That's because you don't have supply that stretches out there. Your logistics don't go there. You're not keeping anything over there. And unless you actively keep units over there instead, there's zero chance to hold that territory. The supply system is one of those under the hood things in Supreme Ruler Ultimate. It's very hard to understand, but it's very in depth.
There's a guy in the chat. Look at the chat real quick.
I see.
하여요 정고 모처럼 빙시링 모처럼 빙시링. Yeah, hey, sure.
Did you see the Battle Goat meme where they put a Chinese spy balloon in this game?
No.
Yeah, they put a Chinese spy balloon in this game and made an entire video about it.
I love this so much. Like, they're actually firing missiles.
Yep. In Supreme Ruler Ultimate and prior, it was just an explosion animation, and that's it. Now they actually have, like, firing. You are rapidly getting a better understanding of how advancing through a country using infrastructure works.
PG learns, finally.
You're lucky this country is so weak, and you have mechs that are 50 years in the future to carry your way through. But you're learning rapidly. Did you know you can set waypoints in this game?
I did not.
Yeah, just try to like shift right click, and then right click is the final movement. They surrendered. You did it.
I didn't even have to capture the capital.
Yeah, no. After you take their first capital, even before, it just depends on the support they have in their country. You're always rolling a chance that your enemy will surrender.
Facility, map elements, supply.
You might want to let it like play a little bit longer because line of sight is currently filling in.
Yeah, I know. All right, now time to do something even funnier. So where is it? Facility is ore mine. Supply base. Wow. Shit. Oh god, the guy just said something in Chinese. I'm really curious as to what it says. He said wool. We know each other PG well. I'm from Nebraska. Oh my.
Also, I love how at the beginning of me getting into this call, while you were opening it up, you were like, he has a Discord now?
I know, I was looking at it. I was like, oh my god, he has a Discord.
I made it specifically to call Chris.
Oh, yeah. I was wondering about that because I was sitting there thinking about it, and I was just like, I know for a fact he doesn't have a Discord, and I don't see any other way that he I don't know, for some reason I just knew you had a Discord. You should have added me a long time ago, my boy.
I could have harassed Chris to get gilded and then just video called him there. But I was like, Chris, where do you want me to go?
Yes. Respect for game developers as content creators. That way we are not the assholes.
Yes.
I've been streaming for 2.5 hours, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and call it quits here. And I'll just go ahead and send this over to Christian whenever it's posted.
Sounds good.
But thank you for joining me, by the way.
Of course.
We definitely need to do what you said, where we're basically gonna do like a collaboration video idea, and I think that'll be very helpful to BattleGoat and at least even the community.
Yeah. We could definitely jot down some topics like I was mentioning and just get in a call one of these days.
Yeah, I think that'll work. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. So I'll talk to you later.
All right, see you, dude.
See you, man. All right, thank you so much to Razula or Conglomerates. Go and subscribe to him on YouTube. You guys probably might already know who he is, but he has like 30-something thousand subscribers. So definitely going to be collaborating with him in the future on Supreme Ruler. But guys, leave a like, subscribe to the channel if you are new. If you guys like this, go ahead and hit that bell notification icon so you don't miss any content whenever I do make it. I will be making a 2023 video whenever I get any information on it. I keep hoping that I'm gonna get it within, like, I'm like, okay, this week I'm gonna get something, this week I'm gonna get something, this week I'm gonna get something, blah 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 blah, and I just still haven't gotten anything. So I think that maybe we'll get something this week. Unfortunately, probably not. But yeah, guys, leave a like, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. I hope you guys liked this preview of Supreme Ruler 2030. Maybe I can do some more in the future if you guys want to see it. But okay. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thank you guys so much for watching.